house is a house of prayer for everyone, and you have turned it into a den of thieves. What have you done?
Hey y'all, hope you are doing well this wonderful Monday, and we hope you're enjoying your day so far as we continue in our discussion on the road to Calvary, on the
Great
road
discussion
to resurrection.
yesterday. Great discussion yesterday, yeah. Phenomenal about Palm Sunday. If you missed it now, you go back and get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go watch it as we continue on our journey to the resurrection. Again, please and share also if you can as we get ready. So, Monday, Jesus goes into the temple after his triumphal entry.
Now, do they call this Monday or do they call it something else?
I think it's called Monday.
Monday?
Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
Is there some spiritual significance to that?
I don't know. I got to look up the name.
Okay.
I never looked the name of Monday up.
I'm just wondering.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I looked it up years ago. I just can't remember right now off the top of my head.
You're not far enough down the road for that, bro. Forgetting stuff.
These kids are messing up my memory. I'll tell you something.
Too much life up here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Jesus goes in, clears the temple, right?
Yeah.
He comes in as peace, but clears the temple. And I think we often confuse peace with passivity,
Oh, yeah.
not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z just to keep the peace, when the reality is sometimes, not all the time, because Jesus wasn't doing this every day.
No,
There was a time where he had to turn some tables over.
it was appropriate.
It was appropriate at the moment. An appropriate response that was filled with his mercy, because he could have responded a whole different way.
Absolutely.
But he goes into the temple and starts to kind of what we used to call back in the day wreck shop.
Okay.
And the reason why he does it is because the people in the temple, the money changers, were cheating the people through theft and price changes.
That's right.
So an individual would bring an animal to the temple, or they would go to purchase one, and they kept changing the wages of it. And they would take what they call an animal that was defected and pay a certain price for it, and then resell it later for a higher price.
Yeah, and they also were messing with the exchange rates.
Yes, the exchange rates, yep.
Yeah, so you would bring your Jerusalem money in, and they would tell you had to exchange it for temple money. And of course, the temple money wasn't giving you an equal amount.
Yep.
So they had it rigged so that you could only make the purchases with temple dollars.
Yep.
And that's how, Jesus came in and went off.
Y'all are hustling people
Yeah, man.
in the house of worship.
Yeah, yeah,
And they made it hard to worship God because they were hustling people.
yeah.
And they turned a biblical sacred system into something that was transactional for themselves. And Jesus comes in and starts turning the place over.
Yeah.
Gets a whip, starts scourging, starts
Yeah.
whipping, and just, it's
Kicking folk out.
Kicking folk out. When I get home, it's on. It just
Yeah.
that. Because why? He's trying to restore the identity of the house. And if we're not careful as individuals, we can make the house about us,
Yeah.
what we want, what we desire, rather than what does God want to do in his house.
Right. I wonder if in this season that we're in now, if he is not in some way clearing the temple again.
I think so. I was thinking the same thing. He's turned them over.
Yeah, it seems like he's clearing. Once again, we're back to, if your commitment is right, you won't think of certain things to do to take advantage of God's house.
Yeah.
And I wonder now, along with during the season that we've been in, he's revealed the national church, the political church, the empire church, and the kingdom church. He's revealed those 4 differences. And in that, he's revealed 4 different kinds of believers. Those that are promoting self, those that are, you know, because I'm watching people, I'm watching people shift during a pandemic without being sure about where they're going. And I'm watching what I thought was their decision. But we've got to wonder, is it God's decision when he's moving people out of his house?
Yes. Yeah. He's doing the shaking.
Yes.
Hebrews says it, he's going to shake until only that's left that's appropriate will remain.
Okay.
And that's in Hebrews 12. He talks about that. And every now and then God does a shaking. And you're right.
What's amazing about that is when he does do a shaking or shake up, it's because he's got greater things on the other side of that chapter.
Yes.
And if you're, what's that I used to say? If you cannot handle the stress of the breakthrough, and God often tests you with something stressful, and revealing if you can't handle the stress of being blessed, you will not be able to handle the blessing when it arrives.
Yes.
So we're finding people that are responding in ways that are revealing to God, this next chapter I have for you, I have to delay it.
Yeah.
Because you can't handle this little piece of inconvenience or discomfort right through here.
Yes. Yes.
And he's clearing people out.
Yeah, and he's doing the shaking. And he says everything will be shaken. And you're right, everything's been shaken over the past 2 years and some change.
Oh yeah.
You know, more than we would like to admit.
Yeah.
Because God is a consuming fire, and he burns stuff up that are unnecessary.
We forget that part.
Yeah.
We just think he's a warming fire.
Right. No, I'm gonna burn some stuff up.
Yeah.
Like the one with the issue of blood, touched him his garment.
Yeah.
What you say in the Greek? It means to spark or light a flare.
Ignite.
The ignite. The flame went through her, destroyed what was hurting her, but left the good that was remaining. And that is God being a consuming fire.
Same thing with the guys in the fire in the Old Testament. Everything that was binding them, they were released from.
Yeah.
But it did not hurt their person.
Yes.
Yeah.
That consuming fire. So he comes in as a consuming fire, and he kicks all them out and says, this is supposed to be a house of prayer for all people.
Yeah.
A place of intercession. A place where people are supposed to find prayer, their needs being met. Not hustle, but a place where the people can come in and find safety.
Yeah.
And not just for some people, a house of prayer for all people. The church is supposed to be like Noah's Ark.
I think so.
A little bit of everything
I think so.
has to be in the house. And Noah couldn't say, no, I don't want that, I don't want that.
Because God sent them.
God sent them in.
Yeah. He actually called them in.
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shut the door and said, Noah, you got this.
Yeah.
So,
I need you to manage the assignment I've given you.
Yeah.
Which means he gave him the ability to do it.
Yep.
Which is why his journey was so successful. Did you ever think that him getting drunk at the end was a reaction to the stress of what he had to do?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes off the boat, there's nothing but death. Everything he's known is gone. The whole world has been topsy-turvy. And God tells him, I need you to start this all over again. I'll probably get drunk too. I mean, you literally look out, there's only 8 of us left.
Yeah, man.
And God says, through y'all, I'm going to start this all over
But
again.
isn't that typical? If we're right, he completely forgot to celebrate the 8
Yeah. Yep.
and reacted to what was left.
Yeah.
We often do that with God. We're so busy looking at and concentrating on what we don't have
Yeah.
that we start not to celebrate what we do have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yep.
think it was Joab that asked David, you got a whole kingdom.
Yeah.
How long are you going to focus on Absalom?
Yes. Yes. All of us being faithful, and you worried about the one that's not being.
And the one that tried to kick your back in.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was hearing finish this. So that he restores his house.
Yeah.
A house of intercession. And something interesting happens when he clears the temple.
Yeah.
He says, it's a house of prayer for all people. The Bible says that a healing session broke out. The lame and the blind came to him and were healed.
Wow.
And as soon as he set everything back in order, healing broke out.
Signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders.
Yeah.
And he didn't go get them. They came to the temple.
Yeah.
So and I remember you said this early in the pandemic, that after it's over, we're going to see God do tremendous supernatural.
Absolutely.
Maybe after all this shaking, God's going to start sending people to
Absolutely.
experience his
Believe it
presence.
with all my heart.
Lame and blind being healed.
Yeah.
Like never before.
All my heart, I believe it.
Yeah. Because after the shaking's over, after it's been restored, God starts moving in a tremendous way when he restores order in his house. And that's what he did on that Monday. As a church, is supposed to be a house of prayer for all people.
Right.
Interceding. And we encourage you all, this week, don't focus your prayers as much on yourself as you do for other people.
Intercede.
Because intercession is supposed to be a lifestyle
Yeah.
for a believer. All right, anything else you want to share on that?
I think that it's important that we understand the importance to God that intercession has.
Yeah.
And that the most powerful prayers we can pray are intercessory prayers.
Yep.
And not be overly concerned about your personal petition, because God's response to intercession is to answer the unspoken prayer of the one who's interceding.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about, do I ask God for mine now? If I'm praying for others,
Yeah.
God will not ignore my need, because the Bible says your Father knows what you have need of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. This week, write a list of people you want to pray for.
absolutely.
Have it in your prayer time, just in case you forget some people, and you can go over that list. Pray for them. As you're right, as James says, as you pray for others, God begins to heal you as you pray for other people.
Absolutely.
All right, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be back tomorrow night as we go through Tuesday. We got to talk about that fig tree.
Wow.
That Jesus has to say, have faith in God. And it's going to be cool. We hope you enjoyed this. Pray for somebody tonight.
Okay.
We're praying for you. God bless you. See you tomorrow.